I'm Pat Mathews. I'm from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, which is a little town near Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and I do leadership and executive coaching. Well, I would call executive coaching more about the position that the person has. So they're in an executive position, a pretty senior level in the company. I think leadership can be anybody in any kind of leadership position. So for example, one of my clients was a new president of a hospital auxiliary, and it was a volunteer position, but she had never led anything before. So I would make that distinction between leadership and executive. Somebody in a leadership position, ideally in some type of an organization. So I'm really particularly interested in how getting better as an individual or becoming your best self helps an organization achieve its objectives. I think the most important thing when you're looking for a coach is the fit, the chemistry, if you will. And you know, that's one of the things it's hard to quantify until you talk with someone. Because there are a lot of people who are out there calling themselves coaches who have no training, I think that it's important to know if someone has had some training in coaching. And I think credentialing is becoming important. It's not important to everyone, but certainly to many organizations, because that's kind of a mark of, you know, you've met some kind of criteria to be able to do what you do. Well, you know, it's funny you ask that question, because that's one of the reasons I got into coaching. I was doing some consulting and actually a lot of training, leadership development training, and I got really disillusioned with the number of people who could actually take what they learned in the classroom and transfer it to the organization. I began to think there's got to be something else, you know, so like, what's the missing ingredient? Here are people who are fully capable and are, you know, really in a classroom. They can resolve a conflict with a partner. They can do that. And then they go back to the real world, and there's all kinds of things that get in the way of that performance. So anytime I really do training, if you will, I think it has to be coupled with coaching. I don't have to be the coach. I can help the manager learn how to coach or some other way, but I think they go hand in hand. Training doesn't work without coaching, I don't believe. One of the people that I coached was a fairly senior person in a company who was very effective for 20 years in that company. And her boss was giving her feedback that there was something missing right now. She was beginning to be irritated by small things, by the clients that they saw, and so forth and so on. Her boss recommended to her that she seek coaching. She was very amenable to that. I mean, it wasn't like somebody assigned her to a coach, and she sought out a coach, which was me. And I found out soon into the coaching that she really had in mind that her boss was going to fire her. That this was sort of the last ditch, you know, you better get a coach or you're out of here. I didn't know that initially, that she had that feeling. And so with that deep conviction, it was hard for her to make any kind of shift, because she really thought it was hopeless. So how can you know if that's true? What is it that makes that true for you? And she was able to have some courageous conversations with the boss and realize, no, you know, I've been good for 20 years. I'm still good. I got off the track a little bit. And she ended up getting, the CEO eventually left, and she ended up getting promoted into that position. And so she's now CEO of that company. I don't think it's only a result of my coaching, for sure. Helping her to see possibilities other than where she was stuck really enabled her to become her best self.